professional Valorant, you have to stop sucking at business. That's my opener. I thought that was that's what I had planned on. Guys, welcome back to episode 5 of Two Bots, One Game. One of my favorite times of the week, to be honest, now that we're here to record another episode with you guys. As always, my name is Sully, joined alongside my good buddy Popey. And we're here to break down a little bit about Valorant and what has happened in the last, it's actually only been 4 days since we last got to hang out with you guys. But surprisingly, not surprisingly, the world has flipped upside down in professional Valorant.
Happened.
A heck of a lot has happened. It's hard to wrap your head around sometimes what all is actually going on. Some of it, I don't know how it makes you feel, but to me, I'm frustrated sometimes. I'm excited sometimes. I'm sad. I don't know if anything I've seen yet has made me happy. I don't know if I've gotten there yet. What have you been seeing over the last couple of days, and how has that been making you feel?
Really tragic because all of the North American representation in lock-in is out, so that makes me feel sad. I
Yeah.
was working really hard for 100 Thieves. They were our last hope, but they lost to Fnatic today, so that's tragedy. They went down 9-1 twice, so we can probably look at that later. But also, Ye got dropped.
Yeah, you got dropped.
He got chopped off, which is honestly not that crazy. I
I
know
don't
a
think
lot
it's
of
that
people are saying
surprising.
that it's crazy. From someone who, in my opinion, like I think I understand business to some capacity, when this dude is asking for multiple millions of dollars from what's like, we've already talked a lot about how esports not good at business.
Oh,
How are you gonna pay this guy, his millions when
an
we've got
alleged
someone who can play Jet like almost as well? It's just like
buyout of $6 million from Optic is what
just silly.
Cloud9 paid to get Ye.
Why did they pay that?
And a salary of somewhere around 50,000 a month is what's been floating.
I mean, I guess that's not. I mean, that's really high, but that's like that's around what I was hearing like a few years ago for like the top players. It was like 40K. So at least it's not like 100K a month, and I'd be like, yo,
No,
that's
that'd be
ridiculous.
absolutely unreal. Yeah, I don't know what to think about all of it. Just with the guard and then the stuff with Ye kind of back to back phases stock just down at the very bottom. What are they doing? Like, I understand that it's hype. Like, there's more viewership now in esports in general. Valorant specifically, it's definitely growing, but it's not making that much money. You're not talking League of Legends money. And I feel like people are trying to treat it like a true professional sport, and there's just no way they're bringing in that much money. It's so hard to monetize what happens in the Valorant scene outside of like merchant sponsorships. I mean, sure, these teams are selling jerseys. Are they selling jerseys like an NFL team or an NBA team or an MLB team? I mean, it's not even close. They're like a little small retail boutique trying to pay guys professional salaries, and it's just not working. So that part is just nonstop frustrating to me. But more power to them. Maybe a couple of these big dogs will go bankrupt, and then you'll have smarter people who work their way up from the bottom. You knock
Like
on
us.
knock on wood, like us. Yeah, work our way up from the bottom and can get somewhere, can get to a cool platform. So, hey, big guys, keep doing what you're doing. We'd appreciate that. On the good news side of things, though, well, good news for the fans who have wanted it. Bad news for wallets everywhere. Oni's back, and my prediction: $70 bundle. I'd say that's safe. This
Katana
katana,
though
I'm going at least
is
40 something dollars for the katana, maybe
Katana
50.
is worth the cop. They always do the same price. So one of the knife prices is like 35,
Yeah.
and then I think the one above that is 43. So it might be the 43.
I mean, the katana looks good. The animation on it was sick.
The katana
Valorant
looks
posted the
sick.
video of the animation. I think I'm gonna say this wrong, but katana, vandal, bulldog, frenzy.
Yeah,
Did I miss? Was Ares?
Aries.
Ares was one as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So
I was really sad because I've been waiting for a skin bundle that gives me the skins that I don't have for guns that just don't have skin, like a nice skin.
mm-hmm.
And I don't have a bulldog skin, and I don't have an Aries skin, and I don't have a classic skin. So if it was a classic, it would have been my perfect bundle.
And
Cause
you would have
I
copped.
mean, nah, I mean, I'm probably still gonna consider, hey, this katana looking
I
nice,
need to
but
see
it would have
someone use
been,
the katana. I need to like spectate someone in game. It's like, all right, is the katana like clean?
yeah. I mean, from the intro, you can just tell that they're just really trying to milk the animation. Like they made it,
Yeah,
they brought the arms out, he like sheaths it, pulls it out, doing these crazy stuff. They're like, people are going to die for this
that is the
melee.
interesting thing is they included the sheath in this art, right? I'll be actually, I'll be a little curious to see how much of the sheath do you actually see in game. Like,
I mean, they showed it in the ad. You see a lot of it
really?
when you're putting it up. It's like, shh.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see it here before too long. Me personally, I'm not buying a single thing till Prime Vandal comes across my store, and then I'm gonna open the floodgates. But I'm not buying anything until Prime Vandal hits. I have been holding out for that for a while. I already have the best Phantom in the game, in my opinion, as Ion Phantom. Not to make a tier list, but that is
We
S
should do
tier,
that sometime though.
huh?
That would be a fun thing to do. We should do that sometime.
Little skin tier list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down. But yeah, I'm not touching this bundle with a 6-foot pole until Prime Vandal comes across my shop. If Prime Vandal comes across my shop tomorrow, maybe it's a sign, but likely not. So let's actually jump to what we were talking about earlier. The whole Yay parting from Cloud9 has floated around. I want to say for like the last 2 or 3 days, honestly. But George Geddes confirmed it yesterday. He's parted Cloud9. It was a mutual separation. They didn't like drop him or anything. He's like, I
What does
want.
that mean though?
It means he said, I want out of my contract, and they were like, we want you out of your contract.
Well, why would he want out though?
He thinks he can
Like,
find something else better. I mean, he wasn't playing like just the op role anymore. Didn't they have him on Killjoy on like Lotus?
nah, it was just Sage. It was just Sage and Jet,
Oh
but
yeah,
he
it
just
was
played
Sage.
a lot of Sage.
They
Which
didn't.
isn't like he's played a lot of Sage in the past. He used to play Sage. Like any Jet, whenever Jet is useless and Raze is useless, they just put them
They
on
go play Sage.
Sage. Cause Sage is just like helpful and easy to play.
Kind of a slap in the face. They're like, yeah, we can't. You're not a duelist, so we don't really see you adding value anywhere else besides Sage. Like, go throw heals and throw walls and call it good.
I mean, it's common though. Like
It
that's
is
not
very
like
common.
unheard of.
Yeah.
Like that's something they do for CNED. That's something they do for like a lot of different
What's the
players.
standard icebox move, right? Whenever you go with a comp without a duelist, is to go through the
But they
duelist
should
on
have just played
Sage.
Jet on Icebox. Like CNED played Jet on Icebox today
But
and
I
did
feel like
crazy.
this is what we were saying. I want to say an episode or two ago that the chamber meta created these super high expectations of players that whenever they're off chamber, what do? I mean, not that Ye is bad. Never gonna say Ye is bad. He dominated Valorant for the last like 4 months, right? He won what esports player of the year, like all these different awards, right? He was probably one of the most expensive players in Valorant right now. To pay, to buy out, anything like that. Say he's top 5. I could say pretty confidently he's probably top 3. Say he's top 5.
No, he's definitely most. I mean, maybe not now, but 2 months ago he was like the most expensive, 100%.
Yeah. But is he in the top 10 players right now? I don't think so.
It changes so fast because we only got to see 5 maps of him, and then that totally changes the narrative based on the teams that make it farther.
I mean, yeah. Is it the most fair evaluation? No. But like, is he the best Jet right now? I don't think so. I think Aspas from Loud cooks him right now on Jet. Like, not even close. Is he the best Sage? I don't know, but personally, that's not a title that I want to have. Like, I am the best Sage player in Valorant. What does that even mean? Like, you got like, you jump heal. I don't know. It's like a jump peak, which you heal out, and I don't like. What does best Sage mean? I just don't. I just don't even see him in my top 15. After this tournament, and to your point, it is probably a sample size bias, but if I'm Cloud9 and I don't have a crap ton of money or sponsorships or anything like that, this dude better be bringing me so much publicity and so many views and jersey sales and sponsorships. Look at what Sentinels does with tens. Every video on Sentinel's YouTube channel has Tens' face on it. They have a whole series, Tens tries whatever, a day in the life of Tens, like tens,
Yeah.
tens. They know he pulls, and they utilize the crap out of it. I've not seen much of Ye floating around my social media of Cloud9 trying to make Ye the face of Cloud9. I don't know if you've seen it, and I've just not gotten my algorithm to Cloud9 Valorant, but I
No.
don't see them capitalizing on a really big opportunity to make him worth it. Because people would click on that. Here's how Ye breaks down Ascent. Here's how Ye does this. Here's how Ye practices his aim routine. People, that's click.
I don't think that's a Yay thing. That's the issue. Yay's not gonna be good at anything with content. He's just not a content guy. He's just straight gamer.
So
Like
then
you
he's
can
not worth
tell.
it though. He's not a good business
I mean,
investment.
it depends. Like people will joke about Sentinels. They're like they're just always grinding content. They're a content team. Like they literally signed Shroud to the LCQ. So it's like they do stuff like that, and they make themselves more popular. So it's a good investment for the Sentinels brand. But like, what has Sentinels do to like win anything in the past year? Absolutely nothing. But like Cloud9, they're not trying to make content off of Yay. I mean, they probably made some content, but like they picked the best player at the time. Like literally up until 2 weeks ago, it was like not debatable other than maybe Aspas that like Ye was the best in the world because he is dominated for a year and a half with Optic.
Yeah.
And through the chamber meta, which lasted for at least a year, I think it was a little more than a year, he was like the best chamber, widely regarded best chamber. So like yeah, I mean that's why his buyout 6 million. Tens's was 1 million. So
Yeah.
and that was a year and a half ago. So or no, that was like 2.5 years ago. But just to see like that crazy amount of a jump because of how successful Optic was and Ye was like attributed to that. I think I see this a lot with like ESPN. I used to always gripe about this is like LeBron, it's like he's the GOAT, he's the king, he's the savior, and then like he loses one game because like something happened. He just had one off game, and like ESPN just roasts him the next day, and they forget about all the nice things they said. That's just kind of how the sports world works. It's like you elevate a champion like super high, and then right when they show one little bit of weakness, they fall really low. So I disagree. I think Ye is really good. Uh, I I can't help how my mind feels. Like in my mind, I think he performed really badly, but like I was just looking at his stats and he only went negative on one map and he only got to play Jet on one map. He played 5 maps. He played Chamber twice. And in a world where Chamber sucks, and he played 2 games of Sage and won a Jet, and he only went negative on one map. He was positive every other map. It's just that he didn't show like what he's known for, which is just like flashy, destroying everyone, very
Mm-hmm.
obviously being the best fragger, and just sort of unlucky. But also, if it happens like more in the future, like on this next team that he joins, whatever team it is, then maybe his reign is over. But
Yeah.
I don't think so yet.
I mean, I think what we're looking at is two sides of the same coin. And I talked about it. I mean, it was like the first thing I said whenever we started this podcast, right? Is like Valorant businesses stop. And you have two sides of how to be successful in an esports business. And you and I talked about this whenever we decided to start Disciples. It was you rely on success in tournaments, in games, like competitive success, or you build a brand that is not reliant on the performance of the team. And, to your point, Cloud9 probably sits on the side of results, right? They're not farming content. Sentinels is building a brand that is separate from their results. Like maybe their results got them to the point where they could do that. Masters Reykjavik, they bought Tins before then. They were killing everyone. Tins records the highest ACS of any individual player over a tournament span. Like they did have results. But now they've switched and they're trying to run a business that's a brand. If Sentinels loses, people flood to Sentinel social media. Sentinel social media is really good about posting stuff right after they lose. They're farming interactions still, right? Like they see it as a brand, as a business. That's obviously not the case for Cloud9, and that's maybe that's what the discrepancy comes in. Is they have two different business approaches, and maybe Cloud9 might have been better suited to make a little bit more money off of him, and if that was the case, maybe Ye wouldn't be leaving right now. But
Yeah,
we'll never
I
know.
mean, Cloud9's a pretty well established org, and I wouldn't say they just straight like don't do content because I've seen them do content in the past. Like they're decent at content. It's just like Sentinels, I'd say, is probably the premier org that really they just like are always on like what's it called? They're just always getting talked about. They're savage on Twitter. They post like they're just always trying to like stir the pot and get attention to themselves in some
Yep.
way. And whoever their social media manager is or content team or whatever, it works. And I don't think Cloud9 does the same thing. But then also it's like Tens himself, apart from Sentinels, he's a streamer who like is pretty good in front of the camera. He has like a good amount of viewership, but even like he has this whole like quirky like thing that he has going on like
Yeah.
whenever he makes any video that it's not like people watch it. Like people are interested in watching Tyson just like do things.
Yep.
Yay, every time he's in front of a camera, it's like not to like tear him down, but it's like he just feels very uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't he's not a content guy. Like he streams, yes, but like I've watched his stream before. He's like talking to chat a little bit, but it literally just feels like I'm sitting next to a guy like and he's on his couch just like gaming. Like
Like
dude,
anybody streaming on Twitch with like 0 viewers. Like he's just gaming.
exactly. He's just a straight gamer that's like the best in the world. Like he's incredible, but like Tens on the other hand, he has Kaide. They're like really good at just making content. He does funny things, like all
Yep.
that. So that's just kind of the nature of, I guess, when you pick up Ye, that's the reality is like he's not going to be a content guy. He's just really good. Is that willing to and maybe it wasn't worth it for Cloud9 because they're seeing in this world maybe you need someone who's really good and can make content. But
Yeah. Also, no disrespect to people that grind Twitch with 0 viewers. As right now, you can see we might have one. So all love. But I have been in the depths of the 0 to 1 viewer Twitch, and it's very quiet down there.
yeah.
Cool. Well, let's not stay on this one for too long because there have been some other changes. Not in tier 1, but actually in tier 2. Kenpecky joins TSM in to replace Hazed. Interesting switch to you?
I don't think so. I mean, Hayes is solid, but he's pretty old. 31. I guess it's not that old. He just has gray hair, so I think he looks older. It's like Def's age, but I don't know. I mean, he's not like a standout player. He's got to be pretty solid, like in terms of experience. Obviously, he's a veteran, but
He was IGLing for them, wasn't he?
yeah, he had to be. He's a good IGL.
So do you think
But
Kenpecky's stepping into the IGL role, or who do you think
no,
that falls
because
on?
before Hayes left NRG and went back to TSM, GMD
Yeah, that's
the
true.
was the IGL. So I assume GMD just becomes IGL again, and they probably waited up and they were like, GMD is really solid and can do IGL. So how about we bring in like more firepower with Campeki
Yep.
and drop Hayes.
Which they're definitely going to get more firepower. Kenpecky didn't have a great stint whenever he was at Sentinels, but he's
Pretty solid.
definitely a more aggressive frag potential player than Hazed. I wonder if they'll switch roles around or if they'll have Kenpecky go in a straight swap for Hazed. Whenever Kenpecky joined Sentinels, he was like floating the KO most of the time, wasn't he? Kind of like the flash
Yeah, he's like a
initiator.
flex. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's kind of the first change we've seen in tier 2, except for before we move on, I did want to say that Hazed posted a little bit about it. Just it seems like it ended in kind of a all love thing. It was a good departure for him from TSM, and I mean Hazed has respect in the community. So no shockers there. The one thing I will say that we didn't touch on is when Cloud9 dropped Yay, it was obviously like who's gonna take his place. George Geddes rumored Marved was trying out for the open role, and then what I think has been a meme, and this has honestly been super frustrating to me, dude. I don't know about you. The amount of memes that are going around on Twitter, just completely throwing off any sort of information that anyone has. I'm like,
I just love being annoying.
what's true, what's not. Like, it's been so hard to follow what in the world has been going on. But allegedly, Cloud9 scrimmed against the Roy's Kitten Shelter roster, and Cloud9 was trialing Daznarth. Now, that's alleged. I would put
Well,
almost
isn't there a
no.
picture of it?
No, it was literally just tweets.
Uh,
Hazed said C9 Daznarth. It's completely alleged. You don't know what to believe. I wouldn't put any money on it, but if so, it's pretty freaking funny.
it's just
Because you were talking about Daznarth the other day.
as my too early to say guess on this situation. There is literally no way that Cloud9 is putting him into the active roster and like as the replacement of Ye. If I'm wrong, we'll see. But
Yeah.
I think this is a massive meme.
One thing that I forgot to even talk about that happened today is Moist Critical announced they are bringing on a Valorant roster.
Yeah, that's something
It
I wanted to
is
talk.
Breakthrough's roster. I don't know if it was just like a straight buyout. Ludwig just joined with Moist to partner, and
Why they're called Moist Moguls.
the Moist Moguls. Yeah, so they basically just took Breakthrough's roster, Flya, Sim, a Proto, Brock, Who's the last one that I'm missing?
Thief.
Thief. Yeah. So just straight swapped it. Will be interesting to see if they make any changes. I know bringing on Ludwig, who has no telling how much money to be able to do something like this, and he's going to be a lot like Toast. He's going to be very public about all their games, and he's going to stream everything and stuff like that. So it'll be cool to see if there's any changes that go on there. Kind of surprised that the guard weren't the ones that got bought out, and that it was Breakthrough, who's they're not doing too hot right now, are they?
I mean, maybe. I mean, they're 1-1. I mean,
Okay, so it's not over for them.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh my
I mean,
goodness,
the guard.
TSM and the guard. It's 16-15 right now on Pearl. If TSM win, that's a 2-0 on the guard.
The guard might have been too expensive, honestly. Like what the players are asking as a
Yeah, that's
salary.
probably true. Bro, Moist Moguls versus Turtle Troop, completely even betting odds.
I think that happens a lot, but maybe maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, so let's look at this. Yeah, if the guard lose to TSM, that'd be wild. Breakthrough, or they
It's
already renamed
it's
them.
oh, Kampeki's playing already. Nice. That would be crazy if Kampeki just comes in and immediately there's like a big difference.
Let's see how he
But
played on Lotus. He was +5 on Lotus.
also for context though, like think about all the drama that's going on for the guard. Like maybe that's affecting
Oh,
their play.
absolutely, it has to be. They didn't know if they'd have jobs probably a couple of days ago.
Yeah, but so they haven't been dropped, right?
Nope. The guard is keeping their Valorant roster and a very select few other roles. But let's jump to lock in. We are now in the final four, the playoff stage. Loud, DRX, Navi, Fnatic. Unfortunately, two EMEA teams make it to the semifinals. Lucky for us, Max, one EMEA team, is in the grand final. Popey switched it up on us and said he doesn't care that Loud is an America's team because they're not a North American team. So he's team DRX for the rest of the tournament. My favorite thing that happened in the entire tournament was the Stacks double wave to Vanity. That was the best thing that ever happened. Homie looked like he had been cooking that the entire tournament. Like he knew going into that
Vanity
match.
deserves that, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I remember too, whenever Stax was playing, I think DRX was playing Leviathan, and whatever the coach's name is, he was like hip thrusting when they beat one team, and then right when they won, Stax started hip thrusting. Like Stax just always like feeds people their own medicine.
Stacks has that if you come at the king, you best not miss. Like you best not be disrespectful, then go play DRX. Because if you lose,
what was that? What was that? At Champions, Xset was there, and BCJ said something like, just like disrespecting Stax.
Oh, he said I don't know who that was. Was that the comment of like I don't know who that is?
Yeah, and then Stax was interviewing, and he was like, I don't know who that is, but like he obviously knows me, so like who's winning or something like that. He like said it in Korean, just like savage.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now that we're down to the final four, who has looked the best up to this point that you think is gonna pull out the W?
I think Navi's looked the best. Sadly, CNED, I'm gonna have to show you. I don't think you've seen it yet, but when Navi played Secret, CNED had one of the craziest chain of kills on the op, like multiple rounds in a row, where like he's in the middle of sight and an op should never be able to get the kill, and he's just like hard scoping like really close around like boxes and somehow getting the kill, dashing, quick scoping. I've just seen like the craziest jet op play
Mm-hmm.
over these past what is it, 3 days past two series from CNED. So CNED's been going crazy. I think Fnatic definitely looked solid,
Mm-hmm.
but I personally think 100 Thieves was kind of playing bad,
Yeah.
and Fnatic was like, I don't know, like I think Fnatic has looked better. Chronicle looked like really good,
I
but
mean, not to hate on 100 Thieves, right? But they didn't win by much in any of their games.
yeah, that was something I wanted to talk about. It felt like they were always playing behind, even on teams they should have beat. And like I said earlier, they started both maps today against Fnatic down 9-1.
Yeah. So like, let's.
10-1 actually. Both maps got to 10-1, but one was down 11-1 at half and one was 10-2 at half
They only won one more round than EDG.
total.
Yeah, through all three maps. They only beat Footballists by three rounds over all three maps. And then they played Fnatic and got mopped. They mopped the floor with them, and they got beat by 14 rounds. So like they were negative on round differential over the course of the tournament because
Yeah.
their
I
wins they
mean, they got
barely squeaked
absolutely
and then they got
smacked on
smacked.
character.
Yeah. Oh, also the show match.
What's that?
Have you not seen it?
No.
Okay. I'm doing my
What
best
is
to
that? The
explain it to
final?
you. So Riot is inviting creators to come play in a show match before the grand final. It's
That's
Team
cool.
Tarek versus Team like BRT. Like I forget his name. I think he's the Brazilian creator that always like looks at the camera and goes, "Vamos!"
I think I saw him yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
So they're doing a show match before the grand final.
That'll be lit. Like
That'd be so cool.
actually them like into it and the crowd into it.
Oh, because you know the crowd's gonna be so into that. Tarek pulls more viewers consistent, like double the viewers that Valorant's mainstream does.
Yeah. I actually forgot that the winner gets an extra slot at Masters, so I'm
Well,
now rooting for Loud.
yeah, as I say, the winning region, which
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is the dumbest thing that you can win this tournament
And it
and
helps
then
your read.
it just helps other teams in your region.
Hey, but that's how it is. So now I'm an Aspas stan. Let's go. Aspas all the way.
um, yeah, I s- all the changes, all the business stuff. I don't love it, but the tournament's been cool. Tier 2's been fun to watch, and I'm really excited for whenever we come back next week and we're able to see who won this tournament. We can go do a full tournament breakdown, run through all the stats, all of our thoughts, and kind of get excited for like the league, like for the league to
Yeah.
start. Because we didn't have that last year, and now we do, and it would just be really cool to see the NA teams playing. What is it? I forget which days we got assigned as the Americas League, but it's 3 days a week. I want to say like Tuesday,
Don't
Thursday, Friday. Could be totally wrong on that,
Not sure.
but regardless, there's a lot to look forward to. Do you have anything else?
Um, no, I'm gonna be sad if EU wins, and then the whole the narrative off the back is like EU the best region, they're doing everything right. Because I honestly think
Because they
EU has had
didn't
a
look
really
good,
bad tournament. But I would have said these two teams are the best EU teams. And
hundred
so like
percent.
they're doing really well. Like and I have expected like Navi is literally FPX with CNED. CNED's going like CNED's at the top of his game. They're disgusting. And then Fnatic gets Chronicle,
And
who's
Leo.
like
Leo played
yeah,
really
so
freaking well too.
Chronicle debatably the best player from well actually no, Nats definitely. But okay, Chronicle solidly number 2 from uh,
Russia.
Neck, and then Leo 100% best player from Guild.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I expect them to be solid, but I'm gonna be mad if they that's the what gets pulled from this tournament. So
I think there was a
that's
big
why.
skill gap between these two teams and the rest of the EMEA teams.
Yeah, they're way better. They're disgusting.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Two Bots, One Game. It's been fun. It's been real fun, and it's been real. As always, don't forget to check out our Twitter and our YouTube pages. You can find them at Two Bots, One Game. Make sure to follow and subscribe. We'd love to connect with you guys. We will be filming our next episode. I want to say next Thursday. So whatever that is in March, following the finale of the Champions Tour 2023 lock-in event. So we hope to see you guys for that. As always, join us live on Twitch, 6:30 Thursday nights. That is Coach Sulli / or Twitch TV / Coach Sulli. Thank you guys and have a great one.